Good to Great by Jim Collins. For years, a question has been on the mind of the book's author Jim Collins, which is: what are the most important factors that enable good, medium, and even bad companies to turn into great companies in the long run? What are the things that these companies do in order to be different from their competitors in the market? In order to be able to answer this question, Jim decided to form a scientific research team to study its various reasons. Using strict criteria, Jim and his team selected a group of elite companies that turned from good to great and that jumped to great results and maintained them for a long time. As the research stated that a company is considered a great company if it can achieve cumulative returns of shares that beat the general stock market at an average of 3 times in 15 years. And this is considered better than the results achieved by international famous companies such as Coca-Cola, Intel, and General Electric. After more than 15,000 hours of work, the team managed to reach the model that explains the most important factors that transform companies into great companies, as the model shows that the idea of transformation is a process of growth followed by a boom. And it's divided into 3 main stages, which are disciplined people, disciplined thought, and disciplined implementation. And in these stages, the work team created 6 basic concepts that enable companies to transform from good to great, which are the concept of level 5 leadership, who first, then why, face the hard facts, the Hedgehog concept, discipline culture, technology accelerators. Bit to remember: a company is considered a great company if it can achieve cumulative returns of shares that beat the general stock market at an average of 3 times in 15 years. The first factor that helps companies turn from good to great is the presence of level 5 leaders, as this level of leadership embodies the paradoxical mixture of personal humility and professional will, as they are very ambitious not for themselves but for the success of their company. This type of leaders prepare their successors so that the company can achieve greater success in the future, and they show up ingenious efforts and are strongly motivated so that they can achieve sustainable results. Usually, Level 5 leaders link their successes to other factors other than themselves, and when things go wrong, they bear all responsibility and blame themselves. Likewise, leaders of this kind show great humility as they deny themselves and others don't appreciate them properly. Darren Smith, the CEO of Kimberly-Clark Corporation, is a clear example of a level 5 leader, as before taking the reins, the company had lost about 36% in recent years. Smith was able within 20 years to make a drastic change in the company, as he turned it into a great and pioneering company in the field of paper products in the world. And during his leadership, the company achieved cumulative profits equivalent to 4.1 times the general market. Smith never sought fame or a heroic title after saving the company, not even gaining a high profile among famous executives, as his personality was a mixture of personal humility and strong professional management. He always liked to be with the simple plumbers and electricians, and he spent his vacation wandering around his farm, digging holes, moving rocks, and wearing out-of-fashion clothes. Bit to remember: Level 5 leaders have a major and important role in transforming a company from good to great. Through the study conducted by Jim and his work team, it became clear that the companies that turned from good to great were focusing on an important main idea, which is that the questions of who come before decisions concerning why, as they come before the vision, before the strategy, and before the organizational and administrative structures. As these companies were focusing on including the right people in the company and getting the wrong people out of it. Many problems disappear with the entry of this type of employees, as the right employees don't need a careful management or great motivation, as they have an inner drive to achieve the best results. Sometimes, These companies appoint the right people without having specific positions to run for, because this type of people can be educated and trained in short periods of time to achieve the desired results. As an example of this, let's take a look at the situation of Wells Fargo Company, which was able to achieve amazing results and turn into a great company from the early 70s by its CEO, Dick Cooley. As Cooley predicted that the banking sector will witness drastic changes during the coming period. And instead of focusing on developing a strategy for change, he set out to create talent management teams in the sector as he created a continuous flow of talents into the company, as he hired the right people whenever and wherever he found them. And he used to say, "This is how you build the future. You're not smart enough to see the upcoming changes. But they will, and they will be flexible enough to deal with it." During this period, the company was able to achieve cumulative profits equal to more than 3 times of the general market. Bit to remember, the right people are the most important assets of the company. One of the most important factors that distinguish companies that have turned from good to great is facing the hard facts of their current reality. As when you start honestly and transparently in defining your company's position, the decisions that you must make become very obvious. So you must provide a cultural environment in which employees have the opportunity to be listened, so the opportunity of transparency in the company increases and the facts are in front of everyone. There are 4 practices you can use to create this environment, which are: 1. Lead through questions, not answers. 2. Participate in dialogue and discussion and don't force. 3. Analyze without blaming. 4. Rely on the red flag mechanism, which means that any employee can at any time convert an information into an unavoidable information by the administration. An example of facing hard facts is the Kruger Company, which works in the field of retail in the United States of America. This company used to work with the strategy of establishing small grocery stores in various states of America. As this strategy was very effective in the first half of the 20th century due to what the 2 world wars imposed from austerity on the Americans. But in the second half of this century, the Americans changed and asked for bigger stores and more choices. So the management of the Kruger Company tested the concept of the supermarket, and the result of these tests was that the old model of groceries that represents almost 100% of Kruger's assets is disappearing. Based on this hard fact, this company began to make vitally important decisions, so it excluded, changed, or replaced all its small stores, and left the states that are inconsistent with this fact. And then it began building its new system of large stores in all cities and states until it was able at the end of the 90s to completely rebuild its new system. And it was able to achieve cumulative profits equal to 10 times of the general market. And in this context, Lyle Everingham, the CEO of this company, said, "There was definitely some doubts in the beginning. But once we looked at the facts, there was really no doubt about what we should do, so we just did it." Bit to remember, face the hard facts, but never lose your confidence. Thanks for watching. Please follow our social media accounts. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.